but 2025 is going to be the year where we bring to market products and services that will transform our position in the marketplace and provide a springboard to long-term growth. After we fired you all. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the 103rd episode of PandTha Talks.
Hello, we're back to normal.
Yeah, back to normality until next week.
Next week?
Well, I'm going to change the layout for the podcast a little.
Oh no!
So
He's going to tinker again.
I am going to be tinkering.
This is not good.
But no, last week was an amazing week for us.
Definitely.
That was why we were AWOL for a week extra. We needed to plan things out and get as much done as we could. It was our first guest on the podcast. It took us a bit to get into the swing of things, but I feel like in the future we now know sort of like what we need to ask, where we need to be, and that sort of thing. So it's a lot less stress for future reference.
He says that, but if we ever get anything like that again, it's right back to the same situation.
Oh, 100% we are. But no, both Lewis and Matt are absolutely great people. I've been speaking a bit to Matt as well outside of the last episode. And it's just great to hear from them and how things are working, what they do, all that sort of thing. So absolutely amazing, and a massive thanks again to All Glory Studios for coming on.
A pair of awesome dudes working on a really intriguing game that Rory cheekily got some extra insight into, but
100%.
That's for another day.
Oh yeah. We'll discuss that when they publish some gameplay footage. I think it'd be a good plan. But yeah, we do have an interesting week this week, nonetheless, because we've actually got like 2 weeks worth of backlog to look over, which is insanity.
3. We've got this week, we've got last week, and the week before, because we didn't record the week before either, because we were preparing. So we've got a lot to catch up on. We've missed a lot.
We have. Ironically, though, a lot of this has happened within the last 2 weeks, and then some of it's happened within the last week. So it's pretty much like the bits that were interesting from this past couple of weeks. There's probably some
instead of our usual, some stuff that's interesting, and then some like lower tier stuff that probably doesn't interest as many people. Instead, we've got 3 weeks worth, so we've had different bits from each week, and it's actually going to be the interesting stuff all throughout. Given by what we can see at the start, for anyone who's on the video version, it's starting good.
Yeah.
Which is rare for Rory. He doesn't do good very often. It's always bad news.
Well, I mean, it's starting good, then we're going to go into some negative, and then we're going to end it out good.
I'll be the judge of that. We'll all be the judge of that.
Okay. Well, we'll get straight into this then, and if there's anything I've missed over the last 3 weeks, feel free to drop it in the comments, and we will take a look at it next week. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Sony finally surrenders.
Huzzah!
Optional for us games on Steam, including Spider-Man 2 and The Last of Us Part 2. But they'll give you free stuff if you sign up.
I mean, okay, sure.
But the question
Don't care about the free stuff. Does this mean that people in countries where they don't have access to signing into Sony, are they going to be able to play these games then?
That's
the important question.
That is my very big question. But considering Spider-Man 2 is immediately on that list, let's have a look. Oh, that's the wrong thing.
Spider-Man, dude. There were so many issues with Helldivers, and like so many countries that were unable to continue playing Helldivers when they started forcing PSN sign-in.
Where would I get that information?
I feel like we're not gonna see much here for now because it's still fairly new.
Well, I mean, to be honest,
don't know if we're gonna get the information we want.
Ported languages 26. Yeah, it's not like Helldivers where there was like the clear removal. So it's a bit difficult to say for certain whether we are going to get anything.
It'll be interesting
No.
to see in a couple weeks' time when everyone starts getting back on Helldivers because they're no longer restricted to see if the numbers like climb substantially.
Well, I don't think they're going to remove that block from Helldivers.
You're
Sadly.
joking, right?
I don't believe they are. That was shown in SteamDB actually, so I can actually pull this one up.
You.
That
Oh
was
my!
yeah.
Oh my!
The
I need to
sudden,
blur something.
think I might do. Bloody hell. I mean, actually, you can immediately see the price list in here is very different to what we just saw in length in Spider-Man. So, right, I believe it was in update history. If I recall correctly, it was in here somewhere.
Oof! My goodness, that's a lot.
Oh yeah, these are all the updates.
It's not easy on the eyes, man.
Oh no. Nothing is, mate. Nothing is. There's the patches. Metadata. Ooh, do. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think we've
Now,
bit off more than we can chew here.
yeah, I'm a bit confused because usually it did pop up here before. Because I remember coming across it, and that was literally just at the bottom. So I've got no idea why that's disappeared. Oh well, nothing much that can be done there. Let's get into the article. You're probably familiar with the concept of the carrot and the stick. No shit. It's a metaphor for incentivization. You reward people that do what you want, do what they want them to do, and put a whooping on people who don't. Fair enough. Sony having tried the stick to convince PC gamers to sign up to PlayStation Network accounts to access their games on Steam, with let us say mixed results, has now
It
decided.
definitely wasn't positive.
Yeah. Has now decided that maybe now it's time to give the carrot a try. They fucked up royally with that, just truly.
Yep.
Sony announced on the PlayStation blog today that on the eve of the launch of Spider-Man 2 for PC that the PlayStation Network account requirement for the game will in fact be optional, not mandatory, and that will also be the case for the upcoming Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, as well as the previously released God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. If you don't want to bother with setting up and using a PSN account, you'll no longer have to. So you may ask, why would you? Simply put, for the stuff Sony cited added benefits like trophies and friend management. Who's going to use that? So they added.
We have Steam achievements and we have friends on Steam, PSN's version.
So instead, it's decided to add in-game content unlocks. If I'm right, it's basically just skins.
Yeah, it's going to be PlayStation-related skins. Like, who's going to care about those?
No, they're not PlayStation-related completely. Marvel Spider-Man 2 early unlock suits, the Spider-Man 2099 black suit and Miles Morales 2099 suit. God of War Ragnarok gain access to the armor of the Black Bear set for Kratos at the first lost items chest in the Realms Between Realms. Last of Us Part 2 Remaster, plus 50 points to activate bonus features and unlock extras. Jordan's jacket from Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet as a skin for Ellie. And Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, gain access to the Nora Valiant outfit. So basically, it's just skins.
Nothing substantial, which is good.
No. And that's the thing, like, you're not going to convince everyone. And if it's just for skins, I wouldn't be bothered.
I personally wouldn't be jumping for it. As cool as the black Spider-Man suit is, I wouldn't be caring about signing in the PSN just to get it.
No, exactly. Ironically, we will be talking about Spider-Man 2 again in a bit, so that's going to be some of the negative news for today. Anywho, we'll move on.
Now, here's something you don't hear every day.
Yeah, Nintendo applying for anti-Palworld patents in the US, with a whopping 22 out of the 23 rejected. But they are fighting. The reason
Of course they are. It's Nintendo and Nintendo's lawyers. That's all they do.
Exactly. I mean, it's what they're known for, Bear. Nintendo's ongoing patent infringement lawsuit against Pocket Pair, creators of Palworld, has primarily been confined to Japan so far, where they're seeking over $66,000 in damages for 3 patent claims. But could this legal battle soon extend to the US? Recent developments suggest that Nintendo may be preparing for a similar fight on American soil. It appears that Nintendo will have a much harder fight on its hands in the US, though, with Games Fray reporting that the United States Patent and Trademark Office, USPTO, overwhelmingly rejected 22 out of 23 of Nintendo's patent claims.
Big oof, man.
That's a massive catastrophe to Nintendo's plans. While there isn't an active lawsuit in the US just yet, Nintendo is making moves that indicate that they might be laying the groundwork for future litigation. Specifically, Nintendo has been working to expand its patent portfolio in the United States, building a legal foundation that could support a future case, much like the one currently underway for patents in Japan. I do find it interesting, though, they've gone for over 20 patents in the US, whereas in Japan, they could only utilize 3. And
yeah,
they
there wasn't
realized
much going on.
No, I mean 66 grand. The only reason I'm happy that Pocket Pair didn't accept is because if they had, then that basically gives them standing, and that would be
Yeah, yeah.
One patent that has been successfully given to Nintendo is US patent number 111, which covers the process of aiming and capturing characters. This was filed for after Palworld's launch, but in patent law, companies often build patent families where later patents are connected to earlier filings. It's legal, but it isn't a good look. In December, prior to Palworld's huge Faybreak DLC, which saw the game hit concurrent highs of 200,000 players, the game was updated to amend these capture mechanics, possibly in a direct response to this patent infringement suit. The update in question caused a bunch of bugs, and many blame Nintendo for pushing Pocket Pair to a quick fix. So yeah, this one is quite literally just set up for aiming, throwing something at it, and capturing an animal, which is fair.
I think we actually covered that one. It sounds very familiar. We covered that one when we first discussed this topic.
We covered that one, and I believe we covered one to do with just throwing. Yeah, that was it. Throwing an item and
mechanics?
something happening. That was what we covered. It wasn't, the original one wasn't for capturing, it was for throwing a creature out. But the way they writ it means they had a patent for grenades.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
But okay, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair, if they want to try and make that argument, I'm pretty sure a lot of other companies could probably make a better argument than them.
I think it would probably just be a case of if it's not a grenade and something's actually like an actual creature is coming out of the object thrown, is where their patent lays. That's why grenades obviously don't fall under it.
Oh,
because
that's
a grenade
probably...
is just an explosive that deals damage.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is, though, it depends on how you write the patent, depending on what it claims under. So really,
they wouldn't be able to write it for the likes of a grenade, because there's just an absurd amount of games that use grenades, and who knows how many before Nintendo that use grenades as well.
Oh, no, exactly. But because grenades have got their own patent anyways, it's its own bloody thing. It's all baffling.
It's a mess.
Legal law is just confusing to me. On February 11th, Games Fray reported that Nintendo has been awarded another patent in the US. This patent is also new. Is so new that it doesn't yet appear on Google Patents. But the site found out it was filed on July 18th, 2024. This patent covers methods of capturing characters, including aiming points, indications of the likelihood of successfully capturing a virtual character, and how to display the captured character, and another virtual character starting to fight. Sound familiar? That's right.
They're really grasping at straws here, you know?
To an extent, yes. I'd go back to what I said, though. You shouldn't be able to patent game mechanics. At the end of the day, if you can tell there's a difference between the two games, and one isn't negatively affecting another, move on. Additionally, an attorney representing Nintendo has called a meeting with the US Patent examiner to discuss a patent application related to the smooth switching of riding objects in a game. Right. You would fucking lose that 100 times over, and if you don't, there is some insanity at play.
So are they trying to say not the actual riding an item, but the mounting an object that you can ride?
Yes,
Is that what they're?
that is
Wow.
exactly what they're trying to claim. So
Now they're
you know,
grasping at nothing.
yeah, that there is no fucking way you can claim that successfully.
It sort of makes you wonder if they've moved to trying to file for patents in the US. Is it not going well for them
In
back at home?
Japan, it's possible, to be honest with you. I think they might have realised that they didn't do enough prep to fight against Pocket Pair, and they've kind of realised Pocket Pair might be willing to fight back.
Oh yeah. I mean, when did this first start now? Because this has been going on quite some time.
September 19th last year.
Really? It feels like it's been going on a lot longer.
Oh, it does. It does feel a lot longer.
That's crazy.
It is. It's absolutely insanity, mate. I just can't believe that they're trying to claim for that, to be honest with you. In simple terms, all of this action shows that Nintendo is trying to strengthen their patent portfolio by negotiating with the patent office to get more of their ideas officially recognised and protected. Florian Muller, a prominent legal expert and owner of GameSphere, has closely followed this case and commented on the challenges Nintendo faces in the US. They're clearly trying to get there, but it looks more difficult than they might have thought out at the outset. For example, the fact that the USPTO is prepared to grant only one of the 23 claims of one of those patents is a setback for Nintendo, but they are fighting. This could turn into its own thing, and it could be a truly massive mess for the games industry. So I'm kind of hoping that the US does us a favour and just shuts them down.
We can hope, but
Yeah.
there's not really much we could do.
So, ironically, before we interviewed and got all the confirmation to interview Matt and Lewis last week, I actually had an article that I wanted us to cover, which upset me quite a bit. And basically, what the article was about was Ubisoft. They laid off their entire UK studio.
Yikes.
Literally the week we were going to be interviewing.
That's crazy.
So the irony was insane. But I just couldn't. Honestly, it really upset me to see. And clearly, according to this article and the operational costs, it's going to continue. Ubisoft cost-cutting ahead of schedule after studio closures with plans to go beyond goal in 2026. While the company is focused on reducing its operational costs, CEO Gullimore reiterated that Ubisoft's main priority is preparing Assassin's Creed Shadows for its 20th of March launch.
Which is only a month away now.
Yeah, a month and 4 days.
Yeah.
Ubisoft's financial report for the last 9 months period, ending December 31st, 2024, is out with a French developer and publisher shining a spotlight on its upcoming Assassin's Creed title, as well as the state of the ongoing cost reduction drive that has already seen several studios closures and restructurings already, with more changes seemingly on the way. These cost reductions build on plans and processes detailed earlier into 2025 to reshape the group, with the goal of improving Ubisoft's operational efficiency, value creation, and player experiences. According to today's press release detailed in Q3 results, those efforts are pacing ahead of schedule due to part of Ubisoft's shuttering of its San Francisco soccer teams and targeting restructures across its European offshoots in Leamington, Stockholm, and Newcastle. So,
do you think they're predicting that they themselves are going to go down under and they're just firing everyone so whoever buys them out gets nothing off of them?
It's feeling more and more that way, isn't it?
They're just going to be like as scummy as possible about this and just ruin so many people's lives by just firing them before anything happens.
It's concerning that Ubisoft have clearly lost that much money that they're not able to please the stockholders.
Like, it
So
feels like they're gonna get as much money as possible, throw it in Assassin's Creed before it releases, and then just disappear off the face of the earth after it releases.
it's
Take
completely
whatever
possible.
profits they get from Assassin's Creed and just call it a day. If
I
they get
mean,
profits, that is.
though at the same time, as we heard last week, they are currently working on Project Blackburn or Blackbird, and that is something Ubisoft is currently working on. Whether it continues after this is the big question. But
Big.
that's all up to the big corporation and all the
That's going to be
stockholders.
dependent on Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the entire at this rate, the entire company is dependent on how well Assassin's Creed does.
And the big thing is, it's been pushed back in release 3 times. I'm not too confident in that regard, to be honest with you.
It's not looking good.
No, sadly it's not. Those layoffs and closures, in addition to other measures taken by the company, I like how they just leave it at other measures, have put the company well on its way to hitting the €200 million fixed cost base reduction goal set forth. So much, CEO Guillemot now says the company plans to significantly surpass its original target and further reduce costs into the 2025 to 2026 financial year, kicking off this April. So
Going to be no company left.
You just cut €200 million worth of people and locations, and now you've decided, well, seeing as we did it that quickly and that easily, fuck it, let's get rid of more. I feel like that just says everything we needed to know.
Yeah.
As a result of disciplined execution, Jesus Christ, we have announced further targeted restructurings, making difficult but necessary choices, and now expect to exceed our cost reduction objective by the end of financial year 25 ahead of schedule. We plan to pursue our efforts in financial year 26, going beyond the initial target by a significant margin.
So is this them saying they either have cut more and it's not being discussed yet, or they're planning to cut more?
They're planning to cut more.
So,
and if
that's concerning because this means they don't have high hopes for Assassin's Creed.
No, exactly what I'm thinking. Especially considering they say by a significant margin, which means they're trying to make up for whatever they're going to lose.
Are we gonna get is Assassin's Creed gonna release it in a state of like first Tomb Raider Polygon style or something? Like they just downgraded everything, but yeah, that'll do.
The only people I feel sorry for, though, as we learned from like last week and discussing with Lewis and Matt, you just feel bad for the devs.
Yeah, the people who have put their heart and soul into these games, and they're just getting told to fuck off.
Basically, it's so bloody sad to see. Financially, Ubisoft's bookings for the third quarter of 2024 to 2025 financial year were in line with its previously revised expectations. Quarterly bookings were at €301.8 million, down 52% year over year, and just 1.8 million over that revised target. Meanwhile, bookings for the full 9-month period were 944 million, down nearly 35% year over year. Okay. Looking forward to the financial quarter of 2024 to 2025 year, Ubisoft expects those last few months to bring the full year's net bookings up to around €1.9 billion. Guillemot added that the developer is fully focused on Assassin's Creed Shadows ahead of its March 20th release. The action stealth shooter has been delayed twice and
Shooter?
Where did I get shooter from? Action stealth game has been delayed twice and stands as Ubisoft's next core title after 2024's launch of Star Wars Outlaws.
And that didn't go down well. The game before that didn't go down well. The game before that didn't go down well.
It's been a few years.
It's been a few, yes.
I want to commend the incredible talent and dedication of the entire Assassin's Creed team,
who is now shrunk by like 30%, but yes.
Yeah. who is working tirelessly to ensure that Shadows delivers on the promise of what is the franchise's most ambitious entry yet. The thing is,
Ambitious. I'm not sure if that's what they should be going for, given recent years.
it's not just these devs that I feel for. I feel for all the devs under them, under all the subsidiaries,
Like
under all the
they are a
divisions.
huge company at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And if this doesn't go well, like it's not just like the devs of Assassin's Creed that are gonna get screwed over by it.
In January, Ubisoft told investors it would take decisive steps to change the company and put a focus on delivering best-in-class player experiences, enhance our operational efficiency, and maximize value creation. The cost reduction programs are part of said efficiency, as is improving the quality of releases like Outlaw via post-launch updates. Okay.
I'm not convinced.
I think that they've got decent developers there that could do it.
But they're not gonna let them. They're
No,
not
exactly.
putting them in the places they need to be.
Exactly. Oh, Guillemot also touched on the review process of its strategic options discussed in January. The process, which came out after reports of the Guillemot family exploring a potential buyout with Tencent, remains ongoing. So it's still possible.
Yeah, it's literally going to be dependent on how Assassin's Creed goes after launch.
I think
and
so.
If it plummets like the last few of their releases have, you can all probably say that they will certainly be bought out by Tencent.
Yeah, as sad as it is to say, it's highly likely. Ultimately, the objective...
At the end of the day, though, that's what we would need to let these devs continue going.
Yeah, most
otherwise
likely.
They just get completely shafted.
Exactly that, to be honest with you. It's bloody daft to see. Ultimately, the objective is to unlock the best value from our assets for our stakeholders and to foster the best conditions to create great games in a fast evolving market. He explained, "We are convinced there are different potential paths to achieve this ambition." Yeah, easy way you can make your shareholders happy is to give a shit about the people that you're trying to give the product to. To do that,
I'm not sure they give a shit about anyone. They don't care about the consumer. They don't care about the developer. They don't care about no one.
Oh no, they do. They care about.
Well, yeah, because they give them money.
They give the shareholders money because they've given them money, and then the shareholders then give the CEO money for saving money.
And that's the issue. The only thing that was said in that sentence was related to money.
Exactly. Don't get me wrong. Money's what.
Money is absolutely necessary. Without money, you can't do anything. Yeah, without money, you can't do anything. But at the end of the day, if you don't care about the people, you can't do anything without people either.
Exactly.
And there's no balance.
I think that's where they've got lost over the years.
Yeah. I mean, you can see that just from the quality of the games that have been released.
Oh, 100%. Now we're going to move on to another company that fucked up over the last year that we covered once already. Unity slashes jobs. Tells employees they're unemployed via 5 a.m. email.
What?
Yeah, I thought this was fucked.
It's like a bad breakup text, man. What the hell?
Yeah. 6th wave of cuts in the past 3 years. Equivalent to 1 wave of dismissal every 6 months.
That's crazy.
Another wave of redundancies has hit Unity, the company behind the ubiquitous video game engine. The latest job losses, which appear to include all members of some teams, are the 6th in the last 3 years, during which time roughly 3,500 staff have been let go.
How many do they have left?
That's a very good question.
Well, this is the quality of Assassin's Creed that I was expecting. They were showing it right there.
That was a good Tomb Raider. Yes, Unity team members impacted by the latest cull reportedly woke up to find their fate via an email which had been sent from a no reply at Unity address at 5 a.m. Pacific time, stating their role had been eliminated.
Crazy.
By organizational changes. How fucked is that? Like, quite literally, to use the term eliminated as well. What the fuck?
What can you even say to that?
Exactly.
You couldn't even imagine how the people who woke up to that are feeling.
Exactly.
Like we're not part of that, and we don't even know what to say. Like, you can't even imagine what's going through their heads.
Now, Unity CEO Matthew Bromberg later confirmed the job cuts in an internal memo obtained by 80.level. Don't know who these guys are, actually. I think they're just another article site. Yeah, they are. In which he mentioned the repeated nature of job losses at the company. I know that there's some exhaustion associated with prior changes at Unity that haven't delivered the promised results. But 2025 is going to be the year where we bring to market products and services that will transform our position in the marketplace and provide a springboard to long-term growth after we fired you all.
Yeah, to growth, you say.
But you can't grow without some culling.
Well, the only thing that's been growing is the large space in the offices.
Yeah, and to be honest, probably a lot of mental health issues, stress, and the concern that they're going to lose the job at any given fucking moment.
Yeah, like, imagine anyone that remains with the amount of people you would have seen going.
The stress and bloody... That must be a nightmare job, honestly. Impacted staff say the latest cuts amount to mass layoffs, including senior staff who've been at the company for years. Included in the cuts are the entire Unity behavior development team, which worked on a visual tool for programming NPCs and objects. Why would you get rid of that entire team? That's kind of like a vital component towards an engine. One affected...
They've lost their minds.
I'm thinking so, yeah. One affected team member, Shani Nishri, reported that everyone working on the project had been let go in a post on Reddit.
What?
Unfortunately, we were told today that our team is included in the latest round of layoffs, and we will no longer be able to support. We will not be able to support you any longer. I've reached out to our leadership to ask if they can open source the project, but there is no guarantee. Unity is yet to tell staff the total number of jobs lost. Eurogamer has contacted the company for comment. Jesus Christ, Unity. That only happened 4 days ago.
It just gets worse.
Like, at least the Ubisoft thing was like last week before. This was 4 days ago, which is insanity.
It's like, what's going to be next week, you know?
Well, that's where the fun of next week comes. Take-Two comments on GTA 6 skipping PC.
I mean, it was expected.
Yeah, they always do, and then they release it like a year or two later. So Take-Two Interactive CEO Strauss stated that GTA 6 skipping a PC launch is business as usual for Rockstar. However, the boss of Rockstar's parent company acknowledged PC as a growing gaming platform and suggested that GTA 6 will eventually land on it.
Eventually.
Yeah, also I find it funny. It's a growing gaming platform. Growing, right? Just need to just make sure I am hearing this correctly. Is it
How many
one?
we got at the minute? There you go.
Growing.
Almost 40 million players. That's just online.
But just remember, well, it's a growing platform. Absolutely, just fucking growing.
You know, we are still growing. You know,
give me a sec. I found this the other day.
We are still growing as consoles get stupidly more expensive unnecessarily, and we get more people actually realizing they can build a decent PC for cheaper than a console, and then not pay to play online. You know, we're still getting people transitioning over.
Number of games released on Steam worldwide from 2004 to 2024. Growing.
65. That's crazy to like think about how Steam looks now. If you were to be back then in 2004, was Steam like the actual app itself in the state it is now, and only having 65 games, you scroll down for 2 seconds, you're at the bottom of the list. Like, you can't even scroll down to find the bottom of the list now. Given 15,500 games, you know, that would add to as to why.
Growing. 132 million active users. And it goes up
Roy needs
annually.
a good argument.
I do need a good argument against whoever the fuck. Oh, what common sense do they dictate, man? Concurrent users.
Was that 35 million? Yeah.
Games added. We saw that already. Most played games on Steam. You can see all that shit. Game genre. Oh, look at that. Indies at the highest in genre.
Absolutely, man. Indies have been fucking killing it, and that's all we've been saying.
Steam users with VR headsets. Quest 2 is the highest, which makes sense because it's like one of the
How's the
cheapest.
Oculus Rift S still up there? My.
It was like one of the first that people had,
Yeah.
and people still go back with it.
Yeah, so do I.
I'm now this one.
That's a pretty high number given how new it is.
Oh yeah,
and the price of it.
Video cards among 96.21% access on Steam. I should fucking hope so.
Access on Steam.
Yeah, video cards among Steam users. Most have Nvidia. Good.
Yeah, I mean, oh my. Wait, what's the other?
I have no idea.
0.24% used other.
I have no idea. I don't think I want to find out.
What take apart a microwave? Use the display of a Samsung refrigerator.
So, as much as I'm trying to remember where I was now. Oh, there it is, yeah. February 5th marked the 14th month anniversary of the GTA 6 reveal trailer, which we actually covered when that happened.
There's no way that was 14 months ago. God. What?
December 4th, 2023. Yeah.
What are these guys doing, man?
We criticised this trailer for
It makes me wonder, is it because they're working on consoles and consoles are like so restricted in terms of performance? Like do you think the development would be like in a much better state if they were developing it specifically for PC?
No,
I just question like how it could possibly take, I don't even know how many years at this point to make a game. Like, what are they doing? And then the trailer that they released.
With Rockstar, it's more, they spend a lot more time dedicated to the smaller details, and they refine everything they do. I've got to give it to them with all the games I've played from them. It's typically a large amount of refinement. And I can't
Given what we saw in the trailer and how long we sat and picked it apart for, I hope it's a lot more refined than it was then.
Now, that was a cinematic trailer.
Yeah, I will agree with you though. Like, I still sing praises about Red Dead 2.
Oh, that game!
I didn't personally play. I watched a playthrough of it, but honestly, I absolutely loved it.
Exactly, and you can always tell that from them. So fair play to them there.
This is a bit of a piss take now.
Oh yeah. The trailer released 14 months ago. It's amassed nearly 240. It's not nearly. It's hit 240 million views. I just saw. The much anticipated game was only announced for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S, with the first trailer mentioning nothing of the PC.
I mean, we already knew that.
Yeah, we expected it.
Given how long they're taking to release the game as well, I don't think... What was it, like, typically a year before we got it on PC, a Rockstar game?
A year or 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, I think we can expect that timeline to be at minimum doubled.
It's possible.
I could see it happening.
Yeah. Ahead of the release of Take-Two's latest financial report, CEO Strauss reflected on the fact that GTA 6 will be skipping PC at launch. We don't always go across all platforms simultaneously, the industry veteran told IGN. Elaborating on the point, Zelnick noted that historically, Rockstar has started with some platforms and then historically moved to other platforms. Aside from characterizing the GTA 6 release strategy as being nothing out of the ordinary, the executive's remark also suggested that the game will eventually make its way to PC, which we expected. Take-Two experts expect GTA 6 to sell a lot on consoles. Zelnick comments to IGN also saw him acknowledge PC as a growing platform. I'm gonna fucking flip at this guy. Noting that Take-Two's data indicates that it can contribute to approximately 40% of multi-platform game sales. How the fuck can you call that growing? You're comparing an individual platform that takes up 40% of your multi-platform game sales to PlayStation and Xbox simultaneously.
Yeah, it's a growing platform, you know. We're still getting new players coming in.
Well, we are. That's very true.
I've been looking at this to move on before I think Rory implodes. I've been looking at the timeline dates there below. It's not giving high hopes for GTA 6 coming to PC.
See what I mean about the 2-year thing, though? It's like a year.
If you look at it, GTA 4 was 7 months. GTA 5 more than doubled.
Oh yeah.
So, and that's
see-
with only 5 years between the game releases on console.
The difference is, though, they already have the assets from the console version. And I don't know if you know about this, but what happened with the PC one, because it was constantly updating and really easy to do, they basically released this. This was on PS3 and Xbox 360, PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, the Xbox One, yeah.
And then
basically, they really don't know how to do names when it comes to Microsoft.
Oh, I know. At this point, they released GTA Remastered, which was not just the PC release, but it was also the PS5, PS5 and the Xbox Series X release, which had a lot of updates.
I'm still not convinced.
Oh yeah, I'm actually thinking that was actually PS3, and then this was PS4 and Xbox One. That sounds more right to me.
I wonder though, it kind of makes you think. Do you think they intentionally waited then before the PC release because they knew they were going to do a remaster for the next gen consoles?
It's possible.
Because it would make sense.
It is possible. Some fans had hoped GTA 6 would mark a turning point for the series by ending Rockstar's long-standing practice of skipping PC at launch. While Take-Two clearly has other plans, there are signs that the publisher is becoming more open to full-fledged multi-platform releases. For example, Civ 7 will launch simultaneously on both PC and consoles, which will be a first for the long-running 4-time strategy franchise. It's currently fucked. I mean, you sent me the video on that, actually, a second here.
I can't even remember what I sent you, to be completely honest.
This. Right. A 51% positive.
Is it something to do with the recommended specs by chance? I feel like they were absurd. No? Okay. No, that's good. That's good. That's good to see.
I know roughly the reasons. It comes down to, like, you know how in the Civ games at the end you can basically continue playing?
Well, no, I don't really know anything of the Civ games. I've not played them.
Well, basically, once
I have no
win,
interest in them.
You can continue. This game you cannot. So it ends immediately. You have no choice.
So they've just took like probably the main thing out of the game that keeps people playing the game and just removed it entirely.
Exactly.
Man, these people just they keep coming up with better and better ideas for their games, huh?
And every time that they release a new Civ game, they change the HUD massively, and it confuses the hell out of people. They've done that again, and it's just baffled the entire community at this point. So people are very happy. So yeah, it's all good.
It sounds it.
Yeah,
things are really going well for the gaming industry, truly.
Oh, massively. As for GTA 6, Rockstar's track record indicates that PC gamers may have to wait till 2027 for the game to be ported to their gaming platform of choice. That tentative time frame puts the prospective PC version of GTA 6 within arm's reach of the next console generation, which may arrive as early or as late as 2027.
Honestly, by the time PC gets GTA 6, I feel like there would have already been another generation of consoles, which then would mean that PC launch would be delayed even further. Going off of my theory earlier, where they're going to wait for the next console generation so they can make a remastered version and release that for PC instead.
Exactly. It's highly possible. So
I could see it being a thing.
I have 2 pieces of interesting news, 1 piece of bad news, and then a final piece of good news to end off.
Well, this first piece you sent me yesterday. And I have one immediate question for you.
Go on.
How big was this patch?
And do you see this here?
Good job, that went well.
No, I wasn't clicking. I was showing you the length of the bar.
Holy shit!
So I'd
like to quickly before we start. I want to give you a quick reference. 7 days updated from version 1.2 to 1.3. Okay.
Okay.
Go look at the length of its update and how pathetically small it is for an entire version update.
Is it this one, the stable?
Yes. Now look at how small it is. And I gave it a quick read over. The patches as well are basically non-existent. Yeah, and the patches are pretty much nothing.
Well,
now that's a version update from a game that's been going for over 10 years.
How is it that changelog is bigger?
I don't know. Now let's go back to Stalker that we're about to talk about. Give us another scroll.
By the way, just to give you
I
an
play
understanding,
terrible games, Rory. I really question.
just to give you an understanding, this isn't all of them. They do this in every category, where they
Oh
go
my God.
plus X amount extra.
I really need to like change my taste in games. I really do.
Well, you like Stalker, so that's fine.
That is true. Yes, I do.
So, we're going to quickly cover this, not in full depth, because I want
Oh, we'd
people
be
to be able
here for weeks.
Yeah, we literally would. It'd be awful.
By the time we get through this, patch 1.3 would be out.
Yeah, so patch 1.2. We are ready to present to you patch 1.2. A massive one with over 1,700 improvements.
It's insane.
Fixes to all aspects of the game. Balance.
Let's also remember, Rory, how much did you and I love this game on release?
Oh, it was phenomenal. I still stand by that.
Exactly. Even with like that, obviously there were a lot of issues with the game. Some like making some of the quest progression very nearly impossible. And yet we still both adored this game and constantly recommended it. And here we are. What was the last one? 1,600 improvements or something, maybe?
I believe
in the last
like
big.
that,
It's crazy to think that these guys have been putting in so much work.
Oh yeah. So these improvements are to all are improvements and fixes to all aspects of the game. Balance, locations, quests, blockers, crashes, performance, more A-Life 2.0 fixes, you name it. This work wouldn't have been possible without your feedback and comments on your personal experiences with the zone. Thanks for sharing it here on Steam, Reddit, Discord, and other social. Let's not waste time and jump straight into the long list of updates, shall we? Couldn't have said that better myself. So, I'm going to basically just like sum these up the best I can. I'm not going to go through every single one because I would be here forever.
Honestly, so, I think this is one of these situations that we need to link this.
Yeah, I'm going to. It'll be in the description.
People can go and read through it in their own time because this is just you saw how long it takes to scroll down.
So they've done a bunch of AI fixes to do with A-Life, NPCs in general, accuracy, all sorts of things to do with that.
Ooh, I saw improved stealth, Rory.
Where was that?
Close to the top. There you go.
So that'll be for AI, I think, or maybe improved our stealth against AI, equally possible, with additional 70 plus issues fixed on top of that.
That's crazy.
Then they did a balance. So the balancing is weird water architect, anti-radiation effect was reduced, stuff like that. NPCs need less shots to kill a pseudo dog summon, things such as that regard, and a few extra minor balance tweaks were made. Optimization and crashes. They fixed a bunch of them. And some others.
Fixed over 100 exception access violations.
Yeah, under the hood, this'll make Will happy. Player flashlight now casts shadows on objects.
I'll be honest, the mod that I got for flashlights, you can abuse the fuck out of that thing. Oh my god. You can also turn your flashlight into a fucking solar eclipse.
Change names of some of the ammo types. They basically fixed and improved all sorts. There's not much I can really say without just going, yes, this is everything.
They fixed their smoky enemies. Does that mean they're no longer going to smoke their...
Polished PDA models now look in low light areas. Over 100 other improvements as well. Main storyline fixes. I'm not going to cover any of these due to safety.
Oh my god.
And then over 300 plus in overall. Side missions and encounters. 130 plus anomalies being discovered and neutralized. The zone.
I like the way they do. They word their patches though.
Oh yeah, they're funny.
That's good.
Level design improvements for interactive doors at Wild Territory Rosk. Level art polish, destructible art boxes. They've just fixed like a load of interactable objects and zone experiences.
Fixed the dead bodies can stay in a pose for several seconds.
Yes. Player gear and player state, with over 50 bugs gotten rid of on top of these. Player guidance and game settings, 120 plus fixes were made. Regions and locations, 400 plus were made in that category. Audio cutscenes and voiceover, I thought this was pretty cool, but it seems like they've done some extra work on environments and things. They've actually changed certain environments and this was actually something that they were saying in here. They've improved level design and terrain for multiple locations. They've added things, they've tweaked things, they've made things look better. It's amazing. Cutscenes, some other things were fixed, but these were the major. Voiceover and localization, all that there, 25 plus changed. Sound and music, some of the minor improvements and that. But as I said, I was going through it very quickly, but if you want to take a look, I'm going to put it in our Discord for one, and it will also be in the description.
I mean, there's just an insane amount of information there.
Yeah. We have a chat in our Discord called Research. It's one of the chats that you can see, but you can't type in. If we post anything, guaranteed we'll post it in there, so feel free to check them out.
That is awesome to see, though, that they're putting so much work into the game after the launch, which is just, as we've discussed so much, is something we don't see at all. No, like, we see so many games getting released in such a bad state, and little to no work is done on it. Instead, they're too busy focusing on DLCs to get more money.
Yeah, well, now we move to the next part. Avowed is a game coming from Obsidian. You know I have a lot of respect for Obsidian. They made my favourite Fallout game, ironically. So they decided to create their own version of, like, their take on the Elder Scrolls sort of thing. It's nothing to do with the Elder Scrolls, it's their own game in, like, the fantasy setting. And it looks really nice. I must admit, it does
very
look
colourful.
But there's guns, there's spells that actually has interesting magic systems in it, and it looks overall like a good time. I really want to give it a shot. It's going on Game Pass in 2 days' time.
Like the third or fourth screenshot, the creature's there. Is that just wearing the skull of its same forward to?
Yes.
That one, yeah. Is it just wearing the skull of, like, its dad or something on its head?
Yes, it will be. But I think they've done really well from what I can see.
Those mushrooms are, like, mad what's the bloody big cave you go into?
I know what you mean.
Blackreach, isn't it? Nah, it's giving mad vibes there.
But the game looks good. It looks fun.
Seeing that blue character, I saw a TikTok. They have some interesting stuff in this. I think they had that as a follower or something, the person that uploaded TikTok. They were in, like, a little town. This is something I feel like, this is a minor detail now, bear in mind, but I feel like it's something we don't see. They jumped up on top of, like, some big cloth thing that was, like, being hung over, like, the street.
Yeah.
When they tried to crouch walk over it, it actually ripped under their weight and they fell through it.
That's cool.
And I know it's, like, such a minor detail that most players wouldn't ever even experience because there's no reason to be up there, and there are only realistically some of us that try to do dumb shit like that.
You and me are definitely two of them.
Absolutely. But the thought of putting small details like that is what can really change an environment in a game.
100%. Now, people got 5 days early access for pre-order, and these people have posted reviews already, which is good because it gives us a head start on what the game's going to be like, what people think of it. So, 81% positive of 1,000, nearly 500 people.
Which is a great start.
It's not bad at all, to be honest. And I think more people will start reviewing soon.
We've got 2 more days before everyone gets access.
So,
I mean, from the looks of it, quite a few of the downvotes there are, like, just issues with it being early access. They're not able to launch.
It really depends here. You got some to do with that here. You got some to do with political statements here.
Yeah, there was a couple there.
We don't really cover that here, so we'll move on. Didn't click for him. Graphics seemed decent. Big Pearl's fan. Just seemed like
fair.
A
like, you know, you don't like a game, you don't like a game. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a lot of people here that are giving good reviews, and they do seem to like it. So, fair play to them. It looks interesting. I'll be sure to give it a try in 2 days' time, and I'll get my own hands-on opinion. Now, in comparison, we have Spider-Man 2, which I was so hyped for.
And is it?
69% positive out of nearly 9,000 reviews. The reason for this is quite understandable. Basically, to sum it up. Oh, I know. To sum it up, they fucked up.
Sony fucking up now.
The game is not stable. The game itself is a really good game. How bad we talking?
One of those downvotes there were saying they have a 4090.
Yeah.
Severe stuttering, freezing through cutscenes. Cutscenes are freezing. How do you have freezing in cutscenes, man?
Yeah.
Voice sync is bollocks as well.
I played
That's
it a
crazy.
bit last night. I don't own the game, but I played it a bit last night. And Jesus Christ. It
That's
took
rough.
5 minutes to load on an SSD.
Yikes.
After it loaded, it then jittered throughout, and the game looked abysmal in comparison to the first game that I sat and played through. Which is funny, because the first game can run at Ultra on my PC, and it looks stunning. The second game can only run at, I think it's medium to high on my PC, and it looks abysmal.
What do they give for recommended specs? Just out of curiosity, the guy saying he had 4090 and he's getting constant stutters. Their recommended is only a 3060. They're saying,
that's their recommended.
From what they're saying, my PC could very easily run this.
Yeah, and it would run like
but a 4090 is having serious issues.
A 3080 Ti was having serious issues as well.
This has been an ongoing issue now with a lot of recent releases.
Do you see why I said this was the bad news before the good one?
Yeah.
But that's Sony for you. So, I'm going to end it off on a good bit of news. One of my favourite game franchises ever. I'm actually playing back through the original Kingdom Come Deliverance as of the moment to get myself prepared for the sequel, which I'm going to be getting soon. I fucking love this game. It's just phenomenal, the first one. And the sequel is 31,000 reviews, 91% positive. Well, nearly 32,000. It's insane. It's amazing. It's difficult as fuck.
Is this the one you were saying where you start and you know how to do absolutely nothing?
Yeah. This is the sequel to that first one. And it goes straight from the first story going into the second. But, like, they are going... There's so much that they've expanded upon. Like, they've added guns, if you can call them that. The guns are basically just a pipe filled with gunpowder that shoot out baubles.
Just sort of like a flintlock pistol?
Worse. A lot worse.
Worse? Wow, that's impressive to get worse than that.
Oh, no. These are like the first iterations.
Damn.
Let me see if I can find it. Oh, there is a flintlock, actually.
Yeah, there's a flintlock. It's like pretty much one of the first guns. That and then the rifle version. They're very early.
See, I'm thinking
the rifle version, it takes like 5 whole minutes to reload. You gotta put this in, put that in, squash down, put another thing in, squash it down, put another thing in, squash it.
Deliverance 2. See if I can find the meme I came across last night, because it was quite funny.
Oh, like, are we looking at Ioka pistols now?
Basically, yeah, it's just a stick. And that's what they use.
Yeah, you're smacking the top of it to spark with a rock to ignite the gunpowder to launch the bullet. Or whatever you might have inside, some shrapnel.
And that's basically what happened. Sorry, the reason I searched what I did was I saw a video last night where you've got to challenge this old man, and he's like, "Are you finally ready to challenge me? Fine, fight!" And he just fucking shoots him in the face. Oh, okay.
But that'll do it.
I've seen so many clips on TikTok and that where people are walking around and the guard runs up to them and says, "Hey, don't you know it's illegal not to walk around with a torch at night? You pull out a torch."
Showed me that one.
And he just turns around and goes, "Oh God, you're ugly. Now I see why you didn't want a torch." And then walks off. You cunt.
Oh, that's funny though.
So, yeah, this game is doing absolutely amazingly well. And it's damn good to see. It looks... Oh, there was a photo just there of it. Cool. Thanks for that game. But it looks amazing, just as the first one did. And I really do and really am in high hopes for it. I hope the best for it, basically. It looks like it's just going to be a great time. And I get to beat the shit out of random people who cause me issues. I'm all for that.
What's there to not love about that?
Exactly. But with all that, that is everything I wanted to cover today. Which, I'll be honest, I'm surprised we managed to get through it all as quick as we did.
That was pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah. Other than me getting pissed off at the CEO of Rockstar. Deservedly so.
Hey man, the PC gaming platform's still growing, okay? Give it time. This is where I get removed from existence.
You very impolite person, you. I'm not going to show my anger while recording and live streaming.
You're too lit.
Yeah, I failed that hours ago. Months ago, even.
It feels good, though, to be back in the swing of it. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, we took quite a few weeks off over the first month and the latter end of last year due to a lot of personal things that were going off.
Yeah.
But we seem to be back into the swing of things now, and I think we should have a lot to come out over these next couple of weeks. It
Hopefully so.
should be very interesting to see how things progress, because this is the time of year now where we start to hear of all the releases for this year. So it'll be interesting to see what's to come.
Hopefully we have something to look forward to. But
Hopefully being the magical word.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not
we'll
been a
have to
good
wait.
couple of years.
We'll have to wait and see.
Exactly. But sir, is there anything you would like to bring up before we end this episode?
Nothing that comes to mind. Just check out the last episode. The
definitely.
interview with two awesome guys and see what they're up to.
Yeah, highly recommend you go and check out the interview with Old Glory Studios, because they were phenomenal people, amazing to talk to.
Yeah. I mean, one of the main reasons we do any of what we do now is because we love games, we love new games, and we want more new games.
Exactly
And
that.
if there's someone out there making a new game, you can be damn sure we're going to be interested.
Exactly that. And to be honest, actually, I've just seen a bit of a message in that chat, but I'll speak to you about that afterwards. So, with all that said and done, we thank you all for watching once again. If you have enjoyed, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And we will be here again next week. Catch you guys then.
See you guys next week. Have a good one.